whatsoever.
Hello, everybody. There is some crazy stuff happening in Houston right now. We have a big rig standoff that has been happening for the last few hours. I'm going to quickly get the screen so you guys can see it and hear it.
But still revving the engine.
Right.
We see that tire still spinning. It was smoking earlier. Our Don Armstrong has been following this from the very beginning. And Don, whenever we have a situation like this, we always ask you, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, in all of my career, I've never seen anything like this. I do wonder, however, is he conscious? Is got some sort of a drug-induced sort of steering straight ahead? Don't know. And I don't think that the sheriff's department knows either. The one thing that I did want to make note of, that the driver's door is really up against the guardrail there, separating the east and westbound lanes over here at I-10, the Baytown East Freeway. And if you're just joining us, this is at Sheldon Road between the Beltway and Spur 330, the road that you take to go to Baytown on I-10. And for those people that are maybe heading back to Louisiana or trying to come from Louisiana into the Houston area, it's not going to happen this way for quite some time. The other thing is, I don't know whether or not, once this does come to a conclusion, how they're going to get the 18-wheeler out of here, because it has, as you can see, the right front wheel does not have a tire on it. It's dug into the pavement, and the engine is still idling here and spinning the wheel around inside the tire. And so what you see smoking there is the wheel friction against the tire. And so it's going to be a mess. They're going to have to disconnect the 18-wheeler from the tractor part of it and separate the two. It's going to be quite an operation, and it's going to be hours. Now, look here. Here comes the SWAT team along with the dog. The canine unit is here. They're moving in now.
Yeah, I've never seen them use a machine like that at all. This is crazy. They're sending the dog in.
They pulled the dog there. Now the dog is inside. This is coming to an end now, finally. Let's see if the dog, as soon as the dog does its thing here with the driver, then you'll see there the officers are going in now. Again, we don't know whether the driver is conscious. They're going to try to go in from the driver's side. I'm going to pull back a little bit here because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Is he hanging on? Can't tell, but it looks as though they're having difficulty getting him out of the cab. Once they get him out, we'll see if he is actually conscious. I don't know.
I mean, I think he is, unless his foot's stuck on the gas pedal because he's been revving the engine. They put tear gas. They commented on how calm he looked when they ripped the door off. So, I don't know.
Gain control of the suspect that has been refusing to get out for the past almost 4 hours here now as we almost start the 4 o'clock newscast. But it's just a very crazy, intense situation that none of us really have ever seen. So here with me now is Erica Simon. Erica, I'm sure you've been watching this unfold as well, and it's just astonishing to see this type of situation going on.
Unbelievable. You and Nick have been doing a great job of breaking everything down live as it's unfolding. We want to remind viewers that there is a delay, obviously, as Myra and Nick have been.
I can't believe even after sending the dog in, they still haven't gotten him out. That guy is really does not want to get out of there. So they're just reminding us now that there's a delay, so we won't see anything graphic. They're not saying anything really important. Yeah, this is insane. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in Houston, but I've seen a lot of like big rig issues too. So stay away from the big rigs if you come to the Space City.
units going in.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a few of the SWAT deputies inside now. Can't tell what they're doing at this point, but we did see the canine go in, and I believe I saw the canine come back out just a few seconds ago. But they're tearing apart this cab and also just trying to get this person out. Don, were you saying something? Were you able to see what they're doing?
I was just going to say, it appears as though
They're
that
pulling
he
him
is
out.
resisting.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
they've now got him on the ground, and he appears to be conscious. Let me pull out just a little bit here while they get this under control. But they have finally got him out, and it appeared as though that he was conscious and holding on, not wanting to get out. I did notice that the canine spent an enormous amount of time in there, which tells me that he was resisting the canine as well. So at least they've got him on the ground and out of the tractor of this 18-wheeler out here on I-10, the Baytown East Freeway. We'll have to see now exactly what happens next. Obviously, they're going to handcuff him if he is conscious, because they're going to have to search him as well while he's on the ground. They want to keep their safety at first all the time, and so we just have to make sure that everybody is well and safe here. But it looks as though finally, after all these.
So yeah, it looks like they got him out finally. They had to send the dog in. It started out as a slow police chase. He never went on a high speed. He just eventually pulled over on the side of I-10, which is in Channelview, so that's going towards Louisiana, so in between like Houston, Louisiana. So yeah, I have no idea. Maybe it's a mental health issue. Maybe it's not even criminal. No idea. As soon as we find out the name of this person, I'll look into it. I'll look into the Harris County Clerk of Courts.
Out.
And it looks like, from our vantage, it looks like he's shirtless. His face looks very red. We don't know if those are wounds from the canine, but he appears shirtless.
Stumbling.
He's limping, probably was bitten on the leg if the canine officer was in there for quite a bit. Again, very bizarre, that he was sitting there the whole time while it's rocking and all of these strategies were being used. But of course, law enforcement, they're the best at what they do in our area. So they're going to get to the bottom of this. They're going to question him. They're going to presumably get him cleaned up, get him some medical treatment.
Yeah.
And we'll get some answers shortly. But for now, we know that this has come to an end where at least this man is alive. We see him walking around.
And again, we don't know what situation he may be dealing with, so we appreciate you guys for joining us here on Eyewitness News at 4 o'clock as we start this hour with this very tense situation that we have been following for quite some time now. And we just saw the end of this situation where a suspect was barricaded inside this 18-wheeler that started as a slow chase at 12:40. It was a 5-mile-per-hour chase, according to the sheriff. And the person did not want to come out, was barricaded for several hours up until now. We saw these deputies approaching, even a canine.
Yeah, this is 3 hours now, roughly, that it took for all of this to come to a conclusion. And mind you, again, this is I-10. This is not a little back road. This is a nationwide interstate that is heavily traveled any day of the week, let alone during the holidays. So, of course, we know a lot of people are at a standstill, been waiting to figure out what's going on. And thankfully, Sky 13 and our technology, we've been able to get that bird's eye view and see right on top of it the whole time. But again, the good news is here, no one appears to be hurt in terms of the man. Obviously, he may have been bitten by the canine, but he's alive, and we don't think any deputies or any of the SWAT officers were hurt. So
Yeah.
we'll have to just let this kind of iron out because it's still pretty early in terms of them getting him down and getting him in handcuffs.
And our Giovanni Ligi has been on the ground monitoring the situation. Any other update, Giovanni, or how is that area feeling to you now with deputies around and possibly some onlookers?
Do we have Giovanni? There he is.
Is currently closed. There are some major traffic implications here at play with Interstate 10 being closed in both directions. We just saw that driver get pulled out This entire time, it's unclear what his mental state was, but deputies were trying everything they could to get him out. You know, this is an 18-wheeler. This is something that could be used as a weapon, something that is incredibly dangerous. We spoke to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez earlier. He told us that this started as just a normal traffic hazard. This was a truck that was stopped in the middle of the road. They came up to it, and he took off at a very low rate of speed. And once again, our Sky 13 has been above the scene for several hours now, showing you those images of the doors being ripped off, the driver eventually being pulled out. And once again, deputies just tried to do everything they could to make this end as peacefully as possible.
We try different things. We always try to just kind of use the less force as necessary. I did mention that we did successfully spike the wheels, the tires, a couple of times. And then also, I think less lethal type of weapon was utilized to try to see if we could just gain compliance and get the issue resolved quicker. But that was unsuccessful.
And once again, some major traffic implications here at play. That 18-wheeler is...
They really like the footage of the canine. They're playing that over and over. Yeah, let's keep replaying this, I guess. Like, man, I wonder if he was, like, really buckled in or, like...
Step out of the way so that way the record can get through. But there are just so many questions that we're still trying to figure out and ask and eventually bring to you those answers. Guys.
Giovanni, thank you. We know it is still a fluid situation for you there on the ground. Right now we want to go to Don Armstrong, who is in Sky I-13.
And Myra, I can tell you that as you saw probably that the suspect's patient now has been put into the back of this ambulance here. They're going to stabilize him, and it's going to be a few minutes until they get that situation taken care of to determine exactly what they need to do to get him on the road and to the hospital, clearly under arrest here. It'll be interesting to see his mugshot picture because there are going to be charges filed, I can guarantee you.
Yes, I want to see the mugshot too.
It took all afternoon to get out of this 18-wheeler after a slow chase that began somewhere around the Beltway and ended not that far away down here at Sheldon Road. The truck was only doing about 5 miles an hour when we found it inching down the roadway here on the eastbound lanes of I-10. The Baytown East Freeway. Ended up here just past Sheldon Road. Right now they're bringing in the heavy-duty wrecker, and you're going to see them try to get the SWAT vehicle out of here and get that heavy-duty wrecker hooked up to the 18-wheeler and get this freeway back open. Finally coming to a close here. SWAT officers, the Rook, as you called it, this machinery here was a
I had no idea what that thing was called. I've never seen one.
This situation to finally come to an end. And let's not forget the officers that are in the tactical unit and this vehicle here by the Sheriff's Department. It took a while to gather up all of that equipment and get it out here because the traffic is an absolute nightmare, as you can imagine, both on the east and westbound feeders, and of course the main lanes being shut down really doesn't add to the quickness of getting the sponsors out here in this situation. But as you can see, doors are closed on the ambulance. It should be leaving here momentarily, and the wrecker is going to hook up to the 18-wheeler, and hopefully we'll get this freeway back open. Back to you guys.
I would be
Don,
pissed if I was stuck there for 3
Updated
hours.
resources and technology hard at work. A lot of elements to this story, one of them being traffic. So let's get you over to Elisa Rivas to talk about the fallout from all of this and people presumably being stuck.
We are monitoring our live traffic data and showing you just how bad that backup is that Dawn was discussing.
So glad I don't go anywhere near over there.
610, which if you're headed outbound is really where you should get off for a detour, perhaps on 225 or up toward Highway 90 to get you around what's happening. We get a closer look and show you where this is centered right near Sheldon Road, but causing problems in both directions. Trying to scoot off toward Market Street outbound might help you out a little, but as he mentioned, all those feeder roads roads are packed, just not able to hold the volume of the shutdown of the main lanes of I-10. And so much of the traffic that is very close, and you see the vehicles moving there. That is a very good sign. As law enforcement starts to move forward, it means that they're loosening things up. But this is on the inbound side toward Houston. A lot of these 18-wheelers that are moving cross country, people that are traveling for the holiday, in addition to our local traffic, all of those plans
Yeah, we
have
always
during
have
the
traffic.
holiday week. So right now we're starting to see a little bit of movement live as we monitor this for you, as we have been since the very start. We're gathering more facts on that investigation.
I'm glad for everybody on the road that they're finally moving. I would be so pissed if I was stuck in traffic for 3 hours because of this. I'm glad that the chase ended, the very slow chase ended peacefully. But yeah, I'd be very upset. Yeah, very glad that nobody was hurt. It's crazy because they tried so much stuff. They tried spiking the tires. They tried the rook, which I didn't know what it was called. I'm guessing it's rook, like the chess piece. Um, yeah, look at all that. Oh man. I hope that doesn't mess up my roommate's job. Has to do with trucks and deliveries and stuff, so I'm hoping no one had to go in that direction or come back from that direction today. Yeah, that's the last thing. There's been so much horrible things in the news recently. The last thing that we need is another tragedy to unfold. Oh yeah, it's going to take a very long time. It takes forever when there's like horrible accidents. I'm guessing that's the oh, they're putting a fire out, I guess. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this stream shortly, and then I'm going to come back at 4:30 and start the Bardo trial again so we can get some of that going, um, because I would really like to get to the Dr. Dietz or Diets, or I'm pretty sure it's Dietz. I'd really like to see his testimony. So if you guys want to come back in about 20 minutes, I'm going to make the other stream now. Um, if I could figure out how to put you guys in that chat, I would. I'll get that. I'll get to that at some point, but I'm going to create that link in a few minutes. So if you guys want to come back and join me, yeah, look at that traffic. Oh my God. So yeah, if you guys want to come back and join me in about 20 minutes, we'll watch the Bardo trial. I just need to finish up some stuff that I was packing. And then you guys can watch me put stuff in a box while we watch Bardo. So yeah, oh, that's the Rook. That's pretty cool. I've never seen one. We don't have, I mean, we have high-speed chases and stuff in Houston, but they've never had to break that out before that I've seen. I'm sure that they've had to use it, but I've never seen it. That's crazy. But I'm glad for the officer's safety that they do have, or the deputies, that there is something like that, because we have no idea what was going through that guy's head. Clearly, there's something serious going on that he would rather go through all that than pull over. So I don't like to speculate, so I don't want to. But, you know, it could be that there's something in the truck that he doesn't want them to see, or mentally unwell. Who knows? So I'm not going to try to guess. So we'll see. But I have a thread on Twitter, if you're following me on Twitter, of the information about this. So that's funny. No, my furniture, I haven't actually started moving the furniture yet. So you're fine. Oh, Aaron, I'm sorry to hear that something like that happened, that there was a stabbing next road down from you. Yeah, no, thankfully I'm not the person that's moving my stuff, I know. It's not some random person on the highway, thankfully, or just some rando. All right, so I'll see you guys at 4:30. We'll keep going with the Bardo trial. I don't remember what I was saying before I read the chat. I wish I could rewind it for myself while I'm live, but I can't. All right, so I'll see you guys in about less than 20 minutes. Bye, y'all.